Sophomore. I am delighted to be back. So I want to show you today something. What would you do when you get stressed out? Life is not guarantee that you won't get stress, even if you make sure. So it's very unpredictable life that we lead in, and I just want to talk about how to cope when stress gets high. Because when the water reaches the boiling point, then you either use it or you let it evaporate. Do you remember that in science class? The water will evaporate. If you boil a water in a kettle or a pot, does not really matter. Maybe the timing, maybe the pot will evaporate faster because it's flat and it's open, and the kettle will take longer because it's closed. But that's not what I'm talking about today. It's not about the timing. I'm talking about everything happens for a reason. When you put water to boil, you have to use that water for whatever reason you wanted to use it for, boiling water. Otherwise, there's another way that it can be finished. It will evaporate. It will become a steam, and it will go right into the atmosphere because you keep boiling it. But if you stop while the heating point is done, then you can use that water for tea, you can use it for coffee, you can use it for chemistry, you can use it for other things that you use for hot boiling water. So let's take this back and use it as a simile to a stressful person that was really busy this week, and suddenly these people are just stressing them out. These matters are just stressing them out. These situations are just keep coming back with stress. And none of the staff, if there's a people that are causing the stress, they are not connected. If the matters that are causing the stress are not connected, the situation is that the stress is putting in this person are not connected. However, there is one thing in common that they have: stress causing issues. So usually when I'm stressed out, I usually do the things that are hard for me to do when I am not stressed out, because either I don't want to deal with it because it's not something that interests me, or I just want to wait until I have the energy to do. Sometimes stress produces a certain chemicals in your body that can either give you a good energy to do something so that the stress gets leveled up and that it doesn't hurt you, or it gives you a bad energy that actually hurts you. Hello, Tobias the Etten. Welcome in Perfect Love. Hello. So we're talking about stress and how you cope with stress. It really does not matter what age. However, it matters what your needs are while you are stressed out, or before you were stressed out, what your needs were. So in this manner, my stress, I have been very stressed last week. And because I didn't have time to change my wardrobe, I go a little shopping to kind of make myself a little relaxed so I can deal with my stress. So I went to shopping. I went to this second-hand store, or you can call it used stores that recycle stuff. So I took some clothes of mine. I took some things that I don't want to use it. And one is I drop it there. I have seen things that other people brought it there in exchange for the store. So I went to the store to purchase something. So one of the things is, wow, look at that. That's brand new bag. Okay, the tag is still on. I paid for these $10. But honestly, this is one of the beautiful bags that I'm gonna carry these couple of days. It's a snake skin. It's brand new. I don't know if it's gently used or if it's never touched, but it looks like nobody touched it. And it's a leather based. So this is what I found with my Stres. $10 for such a beautiful bag that would have cost me $100. So I saved almost $90 or more. It could be $100 or more. Depends on where it came from and what culture that really likes this. My culture will love this. So this kind of bag will be like $300 in my culture. So I saved $290. 2290. Sorry, $290. That's how much I saved. And then I saw another one beside this one. And believe me or not, I could not leave this one either. And as you can see, it's beautiful as the other one, okay? It's also leather material. I'm not sure if it's 100% or if it's 50%, but it's, you know, that leather feel it has. And it's brand new. It looks like nobody touched it. I'll show you. I will be showing you inside. If they touched it, they must have touched it gently because it doesn't seem like there's any whatsoever feeling to me that it's used at all. So I'm gonna show it to you. See, it looks brand new. Inside and outside. And this is the same kind of style as the snake bag, handbag. This is called La Pial. This is a French or Italian, I don't know, but this is a beautiful bag. I spent this bag on $7. So that's $17. This kind of bag in my culture, I just showed you, will cost at least $100, if it's not more. So if I round that up, I actually saved $93. So I could have spent $500 getting these two bags if it was in the store, the original store. Instead, I spent what? 10% of 300 and then 7% of 100. It's really amazing how my Stres left me and how I ended up cleaning my wardrobe and I'm ending up getting brand new bags. I could, at this point, I could care less even if they were used gently because I don't see any holes. I don't see any cuts. I don't see, even if I saw, I would still love it because it's my style. So I'm gonna show you the last one. The last one is a brand name actually. And I'll show you the brand name. As you can see in your own eyes, it says right there, or actually I can show you the silver one right here. You can see it. This I checked, it's at least $100-something on the website. $100-something. Okay, it's brand new. I didn't spend any, nobody touched it, this one. You can see the papers are still inside. It has a couple of compartments here. As you can see, look at the beautiful pockets inside. And look at the beautiful pockets in here for your cell phone or for something else. I spent on this one $22. Okay, it's brand new and it's got a label. It's brand new. So it's beautiful to carry something like this. So that's the 3 bags I bought. And please, I'm not asking you to go spend your money because you are stressed out. But try to use your life I don't know how to put into words because what I'm feeling, I'm trying to express. So try to use your life as original as you can, as environmentally friendly, and with a good attitude. Saving the earth, like the more you buy expensive stuff, it's really hard on your pocket, and it's also hard on the environment, because these people are spending so much money producing chemicals and all sorts of stuff that's not really necessary for the environment. So why can't we use the old stuff, even if it's old and outdated, as long as you can find your own kind of a type of product and clean, and you can always wipe it with nice clothes if it's used. But I'm coming from environmentally friendly way of life. We can reduce, recycle, and reuse. How about that? Reduce, recycle, and reuse. It's a cycle. So I would say recycle, reduce, and recycle, reduce, and reuse. So when you recycle materials, they reduce it and then they make it into different materials, and then you can use it again. So this goes the same way. Clothing, shoes, it's a different kind of styling. You can wash them, clean them, give them away, or give them to a donation place or a secondhand used store who will employ young people or old people, anyone who needs employment. They do provide jobs. So that is your main reason to actually donate to these places for free. They don't have to give you, they don't give you money back. They just take the clothes and then they resell them. And it's a natural, to me, this is the closest natural way I can live on the earth, by helping the people and the earth at the same time, and myself. So if you're stressed out, you have a couple of dollars, don't worry about how much money you're spending. Don't worry about, you are not shopping to make your pocket empty. Some people do that. That's not okay, because you are actually hurting yourself in a different way. You're taking the stress out. You're telling yourself, look how much money I spend. For instance, if you spend $1,000, but then when you come back home, other things will open up. Other things will suddenly speak to you and say, oh, you could have paid this bill, you could have paid that bill, you could have saved that money, you could have sent it to that person, you could have helped this person. So you don't want this guilty conscience. Whether you like it or not, it will come to you. So try to use a money that you're not gonna regret, and get the things that you need, and please feel happy about that. That's all I'm trying to say today, because that's how stress goes away. I actually went to that store. I checked a couple of things. I also get some ideas how I will try and get some other stuff another time. But usually when I get stressed out is when I clean my wardrobe and I try to go shopping, because that mood of stress helps me to find bargain things, or it just helps me to walk around and check things, window shop or whatnot, or go to the nearby malls. And by the way, I didn't only go to the second-hand store, I also went to the mall and check if I see anything that I like. And I decide if it's too much money, I decide if I really want to or not. It's really a choice. You know, it's my money, so I make the choice. If I want to spend less, then I choose less. That doesn't make me cheap. It just makes me feel I want to be careful. Why should I spend money that doesn't need to be spent? Maybe tomorrow a friend will call me and they'll say, I'd rather help someone who needs it and give my money. If someone calls me and says, I need your help, I'm broke, can you give me some money for food? I'd rather feel comfortable morally and ethically, and my character will all benefit from me giving this money to someone who needs, and be unselfish. And even if I sleep, I will actually pray for that person and say, thank you so much for coming to get this money. But I'm not giving my money to a giant rich corporation. And I'm not against it. I know somebody built it and somebody, but they don't need it anymore. They already built it. They already received enough money. They don't need extra money. Keep continuing. It's time to get that money to somebody else. That's how I think. Sorry, but money is not important to me in this life. What's important to me is safety, recycling, using, living in provided to you. and even less. Even if you have a lot, I ask you to use less and to give away the rest, because just use what you need. I remember one time I used to be a cleaner one time in my life. I went to this people's house. It was a huge house. They're asking me to just clean the stairs and stuff like that. So I had chance to look around stuff. It's so much stuff in the house. It's a huge house. I was 22 years old. I needed that job while I was in the college to support myself. And one day I was just cleaning and I said, some kind of feeling just opened up in my inside me and said, would you like this kind of house, Wendy? I said to myself, no, I don't want to. I don't want to have this kind of house. And the reason is, number one, I do not want somebody come to my house and clean for me. I don't like strangers coming to my place while I'm not there or I'm there. It does not matter. I just don't like the energy of people I do not know, number one. Number two, it's not even safe. Even if you check the people's background, which they didn't even check my background, it's not safe. Somebody touching your stuff, and it's just not good. It's a personal things. A person who owns the house should be cleaning their house. If they can, then they should get a smaller house where they can do the things that they need to do. And yes, that is when I hated in my life, and I said, I don't want to get this kind of house ever. I don't care how much money I have. I don't want. It's not safe at night. It's huge house. If somebody jumps on the window, how you can't even hear from the other side. I have ear problems. So that was in my conscience. I cannot hear activities that are happening in the living room when I'm in the kitchen. I cannot live in a life where I am paranoia. And I'm like, was that a noise? Wow. And if I ignore it, imagine ignoring a noise and then boom, somebody with a knife behind you. That's why you shouldn't ignore. If God gave you the ears, if you live in a big house and you hear noises that are not normal, that is your safety gear. You gotta check why there is a noise that you were not expecting. So when somebody has a hearing issue, sometimes decisions take longer. And that is why I prefer a smaller place, so I can control my emotions. Number one. Number two, too much expenses. Too many people to get close by you need a maid, you need a cook, you need a shopper, somebody to shop for you. If you're gonna do all that, that's a lot of work on the top of your other job. When are you gonna spend time with your husband if you have to order food all day long and clean that big house and then cook? You will be so exhausted that you don't even want to see nobody. You'd rather be a maid than the owner of the house, because the maids are getting paid. They're just going to go to their house after they cook for you or clean the house, but you own the house. If you keep cooking all day, cleaning all day, ordering the food in the pantry all day, it's a hard job. Your husband comes in at 7 o'clock, hi honey, how are you? You're not even going to be a good mood. You're going to say, excuse me, hi honey, you need to do some of this work. You're going to get upset. So I'm not going to have a good life living in such house. And I was 22 years old. I knew at 22 years old that richness is not based on how big your house is. Richness is not based on how much money you have, how much you show people, how much clothes that. By the way, let me tell you something before I finish this. Richness is not based on the things that you own. And if it's based on, for some people, what is the point for it? What do you really want to get when you rich and you wear all these brand name clothes that are like $5,000 shoes, $5,000 shirt? Let me tell you something. If you are actress, of course you have to do that, because you're representing something. You're representing a movie. You're representing to the people something. If you're a singer, if you are someone who is in a public life, then wear these things because you are required to. Because you're always in the public eye. So yes, but also some people who are not in the public eye, they can have the choice to buy it, which is fine. But I'm just telling you the reality behind our stupidness of always saying richness, biggerness, it doesn't work for me, and I wanted to show you why. Maybe if you one day wanted to think about something in your life, a change, or you know someone you can help for this, then do so, because I don't like big houses. If I had 10 children, I would love it, because every child will have a room. But I didn't have 10 children. So what is the point for 10 rooms and 10 washrooms? It's scary for me. If I'm using one room, what if I just wake up in the morning and I see other 3 people living in my other 3 rooms and I didn't even know? And I'm not saying you have to be scared like that. I'm just showing you, the more you show what you own, you also should expect people will come and try to take advantage of your ownership of your money or your land or your house, because people are needy for these things, and they know you are not poor, and you are basically living in an extravaganza way of life. So they're gonna come to you, and crimes can come to you too because of your money. Am I scaring you? But if you even have money and you live in a life that is humble, a thief is not gonna figure you out. They rather gonna be figuring out those who are showing their money. So you are protected from troubles that you don't really want to get involved. And safety comes to me first. I want to walk in the street safety. I want to be able to shop and carry my bags without worrying somebody planning something against me because I have some kind of money. Whether I'm driving or walking, does not matter. So to me, richness is knowing what I need in life and getting. That's richness to me. Richness to me is not money, lots of money, or any money. I need a money to eat my food, to have roof over my head, to have clothes I need to wear. As long as I'm happy and I can use that money for whatever way I want to use it and I'm working for it. God said you should never worry about food and shelter. That's what God said in the Bible. So it doesn't even come to me. You just get up in the morning, you work for your food and for your house. That's a basic thing in life. So if you have that, to me, that's richness. Richness is actually having a brain that can solve your problems while you are living your life in regarding to your life's needs. So I have ear issues. I have been very careful when I'm walking. Sometimes I lose my hearing aids and I have to live in a normal way where nobody can recognize me that I don't have hearing aids. I also have other ways that I can save my life. And my point is, richness to me, it's not the way most people think richness is. Richness is being happy, putting a makeup that you like today. See my eyes? So that's richness to me. Today I feel so rich because that's why I put the beautiful makeup like that. And richness is just enjoying the joy of life. As long as you have a joy and you have things to do that make you happy in life, to me, that's what richness is. Realizing the whole reason for you to enjoy what is over to you, not what you have to look for. So basically, some people, they have everything and then they're like, oh, I want to be rich. They try to do so much stress in their life to become so rich. But yet, if you look at their lives, they are already rich, but they are not realizing that. Because they are not enjoying what they have. They are after something, and when they get usually that something, they become very depressed and very disappointed because they wasted all this energy running after just more money, bigger things, more brand names, and then there's gonna be a day you're gonna say, what was the point for all this? I was running after this and now I have it. But it does not make me a different person. It does not make me feel anything at all. It actually makes me feel bad. I'll tell you why. Not everybody receives their rich money that they show to people in the right way either. People go through bad things that you don't even know before they become rich. It's including something to do with doing something that is not righteous. Let's put it that way. Some personal staff that's not righteous. They have to serve people, not God. They have to serve the guy that's gonna give them the next job. They have to serve the girl that's gonna give them the next contract. I'm so sorry, but I'm not serving anyone. I'm serving God. And the bottom line is happiness is God. Richness is God. Everything is connected to God. Righteousness is God. Knowing God is all you need. So that's why to me, it's a little thing. It's like, you know, when you wear glasses, you know, do you ever wear glasses like summer glasses? You have to put them, they're so fragile. So to me, everything else is like that. It's fragile. It's not important. I can go out without sunglasses and I can put the sunglasses regardless. It depends on how I feel. Not what the doctor told me to put sunglasses. That's all advertisement or something. And please don't treat me as if I'm ignoring a health warning. I am not. Yes, we have to wear sunglasses, but sometimes it's not really important, because if you lived in this earth 80 years and the doctors are telling you to wear sunglasses, you have a choice to say, excuse me, I don't need your sunglasses because already my eyes are fine. I'm 80 years old. And the same goes here. I'm 52 years old. If a doctor tells me, oh, you need to wear these sunglasses, I have something in my body that I know I'm not going to lose my sight, because I didn't even wear too much sunglasses right now and I can still see you very well. So anyway, to make long story short, what we're trying to do here is life. There's more to life than we really know. So please focus on having relationship with God and figuring out what is the best for you to live in your life, because you will go through a lot of hardships in your life. It doesn't matter who you are. Every human being was created to go through hardships that they don't want, and sometimes they don't even want to deal with. They get very mad, in fact, because I did. I went through things that is not necessary to go through. I went things that is so much hardship you can feel that people are not even aware what I'm going through. And that is what tells you that God actually is giving these problems to you, not the people. Because God wants you to do something about suffering. Probably He's interested to have connection with you. And you have to turn around and say, hello, God, is there something I missed to make your connection? Because I'm having a hard time. So this is the times in which we live right now. We need to connect to God. The love is God. The righteousness is God. The family is God. Health is God. Beauty is God. Creation is God. I'm telling you, everything. God is infinity. Infinity means never finishing and never ever being out of. So when you are depending on God, I don't know in your culture, but many cultures put God's relationship, they say to you to have a fear of God. To have a fear of God is not to be scared of God. To have a fear of God is to actually have the right relationship with God so that you can live in a nice, righteous way. And I will tell you why you have to live in a righteous way. Every wrong you do in your life will get back at you and be unrighteous to you back. For instance, if you ever hit someone in the face with a punch and you didn't care, and that person went through, God forbid, it's just an example, okay? So that person went through some pain and maybe they get surgery and maybe eventually the person went through their pain anyway. That pain will come back to the person who caused to that person in a different kind of a form. But when that gets back to the person who did the pain, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna realize why such a bad thing happened to them, because they did that to someone in a different way. So the more you stay away from bad behavior and doing bad things altogether, is the more your life is gonna be clean, purified, happiness, balanced, comforted, supported, acceptable, and blessed. So righteousness is not only the fear of God, it's actually the fear of God plus having a relationship with God plus continuously being righteous, even if God is not there for you. Because when God comes back to you, He's going to ask you, have you been righteous? Since I wasn't around, I know maybe your life was hard, but I wasn't there to help you.
Have you been good to your kids?
So, so this is why when even God is absent from your life and you're going through such tremendous amount of unhappiness and challenges, and sometimes it could have something to do with your health, okay? This is not in any particular. It could have something to do with your income. It could have something to do with your spouse. It could have something to do with your neighbors, with your children, with your friends, that you cannot really have the power to change, but you do want to change it. But somehow, somewhere, you did something wrong also. Just because this wouldn't leave you, these problems wouldn't leave you, your side, it's been making you like suffer a long time. You've been praying and then God never came to you. And then you yourself become unbeliever somehow. You take matters to your hands and you're like, I don't know where this God is. Suddenly you become idol worshiper, because when it's somebody like loses God's hand and they're like, oh, I don't know if this God is ever available. That's actually a idol worshiping. That means if you're not worshiping God, you're worshiping yourself or you're worshiping something else. So God, he actually said, do not do that ever. It's one of his rules in the Bible, at the beginning of the Bible, the 10 Commandments. Do not take any God instead of God. So always be careful you don't break that rule. And if you break it, you gotta ask forgiveness. Because the reason for that is God wants, he created us to be his workers. And if you need an example, because it's gonna be longer and longer for me to explain this, I will do some other videos. But right now I'm gonna round it up and I'm gonna tell you, you know the bees have a queen. The queen sits in a chair and all the bees, soldiers work, males and females, all day long to feed the kids that are gonna hatch next week or whatever. Make the honey, which is the food, which is the, to store that so that every bee can have a food to eat, to clean the place, to make the queen happy. That is a sign that you have to make God feel that way. And what he gave it to you in your life, you have to deal with it. And he will show you that is one of your gifts and blessings for you alone. So, for instance, if God gave you children and the spouse left you, it hurts, it's painful, but your job is to keep taking care of those children until they're old enough. That's all you have to understand. Oh, my spouse left me. I'm so in pain. I'm so embarrassed. These freaking people are talking about me. Why am I only lonely and all the people are having good time? That's all Satan is speaking. You have to accept and swallow your pain and change it into a love to feed your family, so that when you need the love back, they will feed you back with the pain that you change it for them, you recycle it for them to change it into a love. Your kids will grow up, they'll go through life hard, whether it's hard or not hard, and then they'll realize that you gave them this love and never showed them your pain. And show them doesn't mean physical, like emotionally. You protected them all the time. You pray for them. You explain to them how things work. You patiently wait for them. You forgave them. You overlooked many mistakes they made, and you later on explain to them. And eventually they grown up and they're gonna realize this person was such something that I could never have it in my life. It could be the breakthrough of your life, because a parent like that is exactly how God wants you to take care of your kids, whether you are alone or not. So if you spend your time worrying about what you don't have, it's the same thing. It's a similar effect. So if you're gonna be worrying about, I don't have a spouse, so how am I gonna make these kids happy, or how am I gonna make myself happy? That is not an issue. That is negativity. You cannot do that. You cannot say, oh, my nails are growing long. They don't need to be cut because it's natural for them to grow. Then you cannot wear shoes. Then you cannot use your hands. So do the same thing. God gave you what you have in your hands, what left you. If it's a spouse, God forbid, even if God took something from you, that you love, that was not meant for you. You don't need to sit down and contemplate all day, the days of your life, saying, why did you do this? That is, again, idol worshiping, because you are dealing with God as if you are more powerful than God. So don't worry about those things. The pain, you have to deal with it. I'm not telling you to ignore your pain. You have to receive your pain. God knows that we all receive the pain, but you have to leave the pain and be focusing on the right things that are around you to finish before you go to heaven. Because you are, the reason for the time management in this life is we are all going to heaven one day. And actually, whatever job you do, there is a situation that's connected to the job that you were given to do. How good it is and how bad you did. And even if you were 50-50, if you were good at times and very bad at times, that's how much credit you are making for yourself. So if you're good all the time with your pain, you will have everlasting life that will never hurt you, because you took your challenges with a grain of salt and you accepted your long suffering. And you're complaining, if you complain a little bit, God understood, and somehow, somewhere, he released from you. And he knows that he gives that to everybody, not only you or me. So that's what I'm teaching here. So focus on the important things in life, like your health, like how long you're gonna have to take care of your kids. Don't worry about who in the future and these things, how you're gonna make your food today, how you're gonna eat. Don't ever worry about, see, this is the things, you will never have guilt feelings or worries when you are a righteous person and you're connected to God. A lot of people don't know that. Even if you have depression issue, you can still get help, because we did make something to help you with something to help people with their health issue. So I'm not gonna say to you, reject something, but get the help you need, and still God heals people on the top of that. Because the medication that's available to you, it's part of God's plan to heal you. Because God teaches people to make things that are good for us, just like a nice meal in the dinner time, or in the morning time, or a new inspirational recipes that suddenly comes to you and you want to do it, and then when you do it, suddenly it's delicious. Who told you that? That's the Spirit of God that show you to do that. So that is why doctors are who they are. That's why they create medicine. That's why they create psychological help. That's why they create to help mankind. So they are dealing. There's no doctor that just gets up from bed and says, "Okay, I'm gonna become a doctor today. Just let me get the doctorate degree." And then all the years they are in university, 10 years, do you think they're ignoring God? Absolutely not. If they told you that, they are 100% lying. Nobody ever gets anything without God saying, okay. So that's one thing you have to know. Yes. Don't let people fool you. Don't let people make you feel like you're foolish. Have what you have, and remember, others what they have, they were given. Just like you were given what you have. And don't let people fool you. If somebody says to you, I don't believe in God, just tell them, oh, really? So if you don't believe in God, what do you do when you get constipated and you don't have medicine for constipation? Do you really cry to God so you can go to bathroom? Or do you lay in bed and just keep holding your stool? No, you're gonna cry to God. You're gonna hide from people because you told people that you don't believe God. So you're gonna go to the room and you're gonna cry quietly, and you're gonna contemplate quietly until the pain leaves you. Everybody who gets pain goes to God, because God knows how the body works. And we don't always have medications. We do have access to medication sometimes, and sometimes we don't. Many people in the world actually don't. There's only few people in the world that do.
I have a question.
So, wait. So that's what I'm trying to say to you. So everything, God knows how your body works. So when you go to him and you tell him, why are you giving me constipation, God? Because I'm really having a painful in that area, he will release it for you, because God is merciful and kind. So please follow God all your life. Thank you. I will come back another time. Take care. Bye bye.